Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna and I am back with some more of Spellbinders Club Kits, and today we're going to be using the new Press Plus foil of the month, and we've got the postage card Hello and we've got some gold foil here. And they have revamped the clubs. They are no longer having the Better Press and the Glimmer because you can press and foil the Better Press plates. And so now they've got the new club that is called Press Plus Foil of the Month, and they are including the foil with it. So if you have been one to buy both the Better Press and the Glimmer, you only need to buy one now, and you're going to get your foil, and you'll have something that you can press and foil. I like that idea. I have been in the past getting both, and so I like the idea of just having the one plate that you can do both with, and it makes perfect sense. The Glimmer you could not press, but this you could foil. So just a really good situation. So I put that box of gold up and grabbed another gold that I had that was already opened. I thought there's no sense in opening a new box when I've got the exact same thing. Probably maybe in triplicate over in my foil drawer. So I've just cut a big piece of foil, and we're just going to lay some cardstock down with it. And we're going to get to foiling. I think, I'm not sure that is Spellbinders cardstock that I've got there. It was a piece that was cut and was laying aside, and I'm just looking to see if I have that color. I think that was just a random one that had come in a kit. And I'm going to foil on it, and I am going to pair it. It was some heavy-duty cardstock, but I'm going to pair it with some other cardstock from Spellbinders. So I had my machine heated up and turned the timer on, and it was ready to go, and we're just going to give it a press. Now when I foil, I generally will just do one press. It'll help not have a bunch of overfoiling. And this foiled beautifully on here. I love the gold, and I was real happy with that. Now, I didn't grab my little magnet that you pick up your hot plates with, but it wasn't too bad. I'm going to bring in the sentiments. Now, there are 3 sentiments that are included with this club, and it's greetings by post, a first class hello, just because, and miss you. And you're going to foil them all at once, and then you get to die cut them out all at once, which I love. And I think I'm getting to the end of this roll here. So I'm going to get some foil cut, and we'll turn it over. You always put pretty side to pretty side, and then we're going to lay some of that ocean side cardstock down with this. I took a piece of ocean side, and I brought in that Hummingbird Delight large die, and I created this postage panel, and we're going to just kind of make like a postcard with this postcard hello. Now, to layer those up, I'm going to have to cut this down. And I am going to actually wind up cutting away kind of that framed edge around there, because I'm going to get it small enough that I can fit it inside of that postage frame die that I've cut there. And so we're going to cut away some of the bird, some of the frame, and just make it fit. Now we are going to do another card in which we're going to get more of the frame. We're going to have the frame in it, and we'll do that later. But right now I'm just getting this cut down, and I'm noticing that I got to cut it away, and I'm like, ugh. But I really want the postage edge frame to show around this, and I think it's going to be okay. So the way I've got it cut down, I'm going to have to cut it a little bit more. I've got it in the wrong direction here. I'm like, you need to move it a little bit. And I'm just going to take another little bit off of there because I just want it to frame out really nice with that postage edge frame from that Hummingbird Delight, and be able to lay it in there real nice. And I think that looks very nice. Now, while we're doing that, this is heating up. And so we're going to bring in our Platinum 6 again, and we're just going to run our Glimmer plates through there, and we're going to get our sentiments ready. And we're going to have, all 4 of them. So we'll have extra sentiments for our next card that we're going to do. And they foiled beautifully as well. And they look lovely on that oceanside cardstock from Spellbinders. Now, I love when you can press or glimmer or stamp a bunch of sentiments at once and then use one die and die cut them out. Oh my gosh, that makes it so easy. It's just genius that they've started doing that. Now, it will leave you with some leftover sentiments, but if you keep them in a little container and you can just pull them out and use them as you need, that's generally what I do. So I've got them taped down so that they won't move. I'm going to bring in my plates, and I really need to get some new plates for my Platinum 6, but they're still working, so we'll still use them. And I'm going to just pop out my glimmered sentiments out of my die, and we'll be ready to get started on assembling our card. So if you didn't watch, I did use the Hummingbird Delight to make a card on New Year's Day, and I used all of the floral elements and the birds and everything for it, and it turned out really pretty. I'll try to remember to link it in the video so that you can check it out if you haven't seen it. So I'm just going to get this panel laid down on there, and then we're going to bring in the other one and just let it fit right inside there, and we are going to pop it up. Now these two cards that I'm doing are fairly simple. I mean, we're just using the product very simply how it's designed to use, and just letting the product, do all the work, which is what I like to do. So I'm going to lay some foam tape down on here, and we're going to get it laid down. And I've got a couple rolls that are at their end, and so I'm going to piecemeal it, and we'll get some foam on here and get them popped up. And I kind of chuckled because my husband's in the other room sneezing and blowing his nose. I don't think you can probably hear it, but I can. Anyway, so we'll get the backer tape pulled off of here, and we're going to get this laid down on our card base. And I love those two colors together. Like I said, I'm not certain that lighter blue, I think that could possibly be some cardstock that I got in a Love from Lizzie kit. It was kind of laying stray in my craft room. I think I found it in one of my containers, and I was like, oh, I need to use this. So anyway, we're just going to get our sentiment laid down on here, and we're using Greetings by Post. And I need to add a little bit of more glue. I think I'm having trouble getting it stuck to that glimmer area there. So I'm just going to give it a little press, and that will finish off that card. I mean, very simple. We've got 2 layers and a sentiment and a card base. Now I'm going to bring in the Better Press, and I've got my bark ink, and I'm going to bring in some craft cardstock. Now this cardstock here is just some inexpensive Michaels cardstock. Generally you might want to use, to get a really good press, you might want to use some cotton cardstock to really get a deep impression from it. But this will work just fine. And because it is thin, a lot of times when I use my cotton, I might run it forward and then backward. But for the thin cardstock, you don't want to do that because you'll poke a hole in it, because these, press pretty well. So I took that bark ink. I've got a little thread on there, so I needed to knock it off so that I don't impress that thread on my pattern. And we're just going to run this through. And since I'm only pressing once, I'm pressing very slow and just letting it do its thing. So I just took my time on that. And then we're going to get this Spellbinders Platinum 6 out of the way, and we'll take a look at our plate. And we got a good impression. I like that bark on the cardstock. It's just going to be kind of a rustic looking card. And then we're going to cut it down. I'm going to bring in a A2 matting basic die from Spellbinders so that I can try to line it up and keep that frame in there and not cut it away. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to sit there and line it up so that I can maintain that frame that is around this postcard. And then we'll have it for our card. So I'm just very carefully looking in all directions to get it lined up all the way around. And then we'll use some of this mint tape to hold it in place. And then I'm going to grab that Platinum 6 and bring it in again. I'm getting my workout with that, lifting that thing off my desk and onto the floor, and then off of the floor back onto my desk several times, kind of getting a little workout. So we'll get this die cut out, and we'll have a nice little frame around there. And then we've got our design. And we're going to keep it simple as well, to some extent. I have got blue ink on my hand from something I was doing earlier. And I'm going to grab some ink, and we're going to ink up the edges of this and make it look a little bit more distressed, a little bit more vintage. So I'm just going to grab that same bark ink pad, just because it was already laying on the desk, And I'm just going to rub it along the edges and just kind of put like a very thin frame of brown all the way around this panel. And as I'm doing this voiceover, I am watching the Pirates of the Caribbean. I have it muted. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I was scrolling across the TV, and I thought I'm gonna watch this. So I paused it, muted it, so I could do the voiceover. Anyway, so we have got that all linked up, and I decided I think I want to dirty this up a little bit more. So I'm bringing in the Uncharted Mariner Distress Oxide ink. I'm going to get all of my pretty stuff off of my desk and out of the way, and I'm just going to smush some of that ink on my glass mat, and I'm going to bring in one of those plastic water brushes. This I picked up, I'm sure, at the dollar store, dirt cheap. And I'm just going to pick up some of that ink on there. I brought in my Tim Holtz big scissors just to kind of bang it on there and just splatter. And I will do quite a bit of splattering on here and just getting a lot of different splatters. And I mostly got really teeny tiny ones. I didn't get any big ones. I kept trying to get some big ones, but I wasn't successful. I probably needed a different brush or something for it. But we're going to lay a lot of color down on here. And this is where I'm trying to get some bigger splatters, but I'm not successful. So I just keep going with the little ones. And we'll just go until I'm satisfied with what it is. And then we'll clean up this mess. I'm going to pause here and get my desk cleaned off and everything put away. And now I'm going to bring in some more of that Oceanside cardstock. And I need to cut it in a big panel. I have A2 size panels already cut in my craft room, but because I'm going to use this postage die, I need bigger than that so that I can get it all cut out, because it's the size of an A2, and those panels are not big enough to get all of the edges on there. So I'll bring this in and we'll die cut this out. We're going to just create another background panel similarly to how we did the first card, and I'm doing that so that my two cards will kind of coordinate. So when I take the picture of them for my thumbnail, they'll kind of be a little matchy-matchy. So we've got that panel die cut out, and we're going to layer it up. And I knew that I was going to go, because of the way I'd cut the first card, I knew that it was going to be tight and we would just see a little bit of the postage edge around there. But I've noticed that the top and one side, I've got a little bit more frame around that, the pressed frame. And so I'm just going to take a smidgen off the top and a smidgen off one of the sides. And then it will just give us a little bit more room to reveal a little bit of that back panel behind there. And so I'm just trying to take just a smidgen off of there. And I think I got enough to just let a little bit more of that postage edge shine through. And since I trimmed that off, I need to ink up those edges again, because I did cut off some of that ink that I had put on there. So we'll just ink them back up and get them ready to go. And you can see that Michael's craft cardstock, it's pretty flimsy because it's bending there as I am working with it. But it doesn't matter because we're going to layer it on this Spellbinders cardstock, which is good and heavy. And so it'll be just fine. So we're just going to get some barely art glue laid down on here, lay this panel down, and then we're going to bring in our card base. I was checking my hands to see if I got any blue on there from that inking, but I didn't. So I've just got a white Hammermill 110-pound card base here that I've created myself, and I'm not liking the white behind there. And I thought, well, I could bring in another piece of that Oceanside cardstock, but then I thought, let's just grab this Better Press ink and just dirty up those edges a little bit, and I think it'll be all right. So I'll just rub this across there and just dirty up the edge a little bit, and then we'll get some glue on here and lay it down. And I do like how it turns out. It's not bright white and it's not dark brown. It's just a little rustic. So I'm going to take one of those sentiments that we used, since we've got the postage edge on there that's the same color, and we're just going to lay it down on here. I'm going to use this Miss You. I've got a mind of what I'm going to do with this card, and I thought Miss You was a good sentiment to lay down on this card. So I'm just going to tuck it in there. And we've just got another postage frame card. I'm trying to get it lined up nice and straight, using my glass mat to help me get it straight. And then I've got 2 more sentiments that I can save for later. So let's just check out our cards. I love the glimmered one. It's really pretty. And then we've got a rustic one, so a couple options. So I've taken a picture here for you can take a quick look at them. I appreciate you watching. Hit the like if you do. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.